Bidoof. That damn Bidoof. Always showing up when I'd rather be catching a Starly. Yes, as a kid I hated Bidoof. Its stupid face, its stupid grin, its big teeth. I hated its evolution too. It was bigger, but still had the same stupid face, stupid grin, and big teeth. Back in Ruby and Sapphire version, the not bird type we had on early routes was Zigzagoon and its evolution, Linoon. While I've never kept one on my team for a full playthrough, I always liked this one. Rattata and Raticate always felt hostile. Sentret and Furret always felt a little cutesy, but Zigzagoon and Linoon felt so vanilla and neutral that it made sense to catch one and keep it as a friend. It was the most unassuming personality in that face, and was oddly a more realistic looking design than Rattata and Sentret. But then Pearl and Diamond come out, and there's Bidoof. Stupid, grinning, big in the tooth, Bidoof. I mean, Bibarel, you're competing with Staraptor here. You were so lame. But despite its obvious identity as second banana to Staraptor, it would never be obsolete. It could learn HMs, so it was useful to keep around. But then something happened many, many years later, when I watched through half of the Pokémon anime. I started to feel a fondness for the previously hated Bidoof and Bibarel, because of how the Pokémon was portrayed. Then there was Bidoof Day, and yeah, I started to realize that I had nothing against this Pokémon. I liked it, but for then, it was just a like. Even after the Pokémon Company made a Bidoof Day and released this cute and hilariously out-of-date parody of Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Ashley, featuring the Big Tooth Buddy, I still didn't have any fondness for Bidoof over simply liking the Pokémon. Then, the Pokémon Company did it again and released another thing called Bidoof's Big Stand. So, let's look at it. You've seen it, right? This thing is only 7 minutes long. Go watch it for yourself before I spoil the entire plot for a 7-minute animated short. You've got 7 minutes, don't kid yourself. Those dirty dishes can wait. Now go watch it during this intermission. Please be sure to stop by the concession stand. I'm losing money on that thing.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Alright, so now everybody's seen it. So now I can say that this short film is awesome. While Pokemon Origins obviously had a lot of effort put into it, and I did enjoy sitting through it, and Pokemon Generations is and Pokemon Evolutions is basically Pokemon Generations but better. This is the best of all the animated spin-offs, and it does in 8 minutes what Origins couldn't do in the total runtime of a feature film. I was worried about the art style at first. Then the second I saw it in motion, it looked way better. Even if there are people out there who don't like this art style, I need to stress how much more interesting it is to get something different. Every big Pokemon animation up until this point has been done in the style of Japanese anime. Bidoof's Big Stand goes in the completely opposite direction, and is made in a style that is influenced by Western trends. Even the computer-generated look reflects how, for the last 2 decades, the most popular animated films in the West have been CGI. It's just so refreshing to see the world of Pokemon through a different lens. The music is definitely of the same flavor. I'm not going to talk at length about the music since, if you have already seen this short, then you have heard the music in it. But the score to this thing is actually pretty sweet. The jazz track with the unintelligible backing vocals that sound like they're saying Bidoof's name makes that scene for me. The colors are just downright pretty though. The oversaturated shades of everything complement the way the characters and backgrounds are drawn perfectly. The plot is more simple and to the point when there's less time to put in extra subpoints into the main story. This is the type of length where it doesn't feel strange to not have any dialogue. Everything the audience needs to know can be conveyed completely through the characters' movements and expressions and the visuals. The story takes precedent here. While this is clearly based on games and does reference them, the story takes precedent over video game logic.
It's TM34.
A TM?
That's right. It's a technical machine containing Bi.
Bidoof has natural talents for practical tasks that others of its species don't have. He's an outcast because he's different. The story does not begin with Bidoof learning HM moves. Bidoof is an everyman. He is not cute like Piplup. He is not fierce like Starly. He's a very plain individual that doesn't know its place. That is very relatable. By the way, I'm calling Bidoof a he. This Bidoof's gender is ambiguous in this short. I would say the biggest plot twist in the whole story is right after Bidoof gets chased. Up until this point, no human characters have been shown, only Pokémon. It could have been reasonable to assume that this was going to be just a simple cute cartoon about a Bidoof and his wacky hijinks with other Pokémon. So now, this is not just a story about Bidoof, it's a story about Bidoof meeting a Pokémon trainer. It is here where we establish our main character motivation. It is such a simple thing, yet we care about this because of how much it means to the main character. The title, Bidoof's Big Stand, is a pun and has two meanings. It's a reference to the act of standing up against something, the figure of speech version of the word, but also describes the literal act that Bidoof does as if to say he's different. I think the montage of Bidoof being useful on the road is great because it isn't black and white. This starts out as something entirely positive, and over time it becomes a negative. Also, it's funny how the short is referencing Bidoof and Bibarel's HM usefulness in the overworld. It's not like the trainer is just using him for that though. He values Bidoof's talents and sees him as a valuable asset. The only problem is that Bidoof gets over the initial high of being part of the team outside of battle. This isn't the thing he's wanted to do all along. The final scene in the battle ties up everything very well. It is silly and unrealistic by game logic that one Bidoof would be unable to turn around a battle and win against two well-trained, fully evolved opponents. But this final scene is so well done that I just don't care at the end of the day. We see Bidoof's work with rocks put to use against a Pokemon that is literally a ball of rocks, and then Staraptor appears, a callback to the Pokemon that chased him. Bidoof stands up to Staraptor this time, both figuratively and literally. He puts another one of his field abilities to use to snag a clutch win against the bird. The payoff at the end is huge. That high five is proof that emotion in film doesn't always need to be tied to sappy dialogue or complex character drama in order to hit hard. It sure hit me hard. And the way that music cue continues from the ending shot into the credits is nothing short of perfect. So, this is legit a good piece of animation, and best of all, it has universal appeal. Anyone can follow this story whether or not they have any idea what a Pokémon's is. as much as I like when video game cartoons reference stuff from the games.
I also received Hidden Machine 01 from a captain who was suffering from seasickness.
And try to appeal to fans as much as possible. It's valuable to have stuff like this that could literally be shown as a short before any feature-length animated film in theaters, and get a reaction from just about anyone. As for me, I am a huge Bidoof fan at this point. In fact, Bidoof might be a perfect representation of why Pokémon is great as a whole. There's the competitive side where, of course, there is objective right and wrong ways to build a team, but that is only one way to play it. The fact that there are so many options is what makes these games fun. Challenge runs and Nuzlockes wouldn't be interesting if every Pokémon was powerful and had the ideal stats to breeze through battle. I remember as a kid being disappointed when I was playing Yellow version and I couldn't use a Thunderstone to make my Pikachu evolve. Only later would I realize that design choice actually makes the game more interesting and memorable. I'm sure there's a lot of players out there who can't stand the fact that this got carried over into Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but I couldn't have it any other way. Pokémon Scarlet and Violet have just been announced, once again beginning the cycle of anticipation for the next set of big Pokémon games, and, while I like the 3 starter Pokémon that they will feature, I'm tired of this formula. I'd honestly be more interested in starting a Pokémon game with something other than a grass/fire/water starter. Why not have a Pokémon game where I can start out with a Bidoof? Remember Wally in Gen 3? He starts out with a Ralts. Why can't I have that experience? Remember that kid in Season 3 of the Pokémon anime who initially is jealous of Ash for having a Pikachu as a partner, and then by the end becomes really close with the Bellsprout he caught on accident? Why can't I play a Pokémon game where I start off with a Bellsprout? Whatever. I think the point I'm trying to make is that I'll never know for certain what I really think about a Pokémon until I've spent enough time with it. I may just discover a liking for one that I've never had before.